Oh, hello there, listener. I didn't expect to see you. I'm just enjoying a cognac and cigar after dinner in my study. Now, when you listen to the first half of the show, you may think my recording quality isn't quite what it should be. And you'd be correct. This is due to a problem with the laptop, the technical term being, it's a bit of a dick. Now, we just wanted to warn you, and the second half is much improved. But, as I say, we just wanted to let you know before the programme begins. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the AI Bots podcast. I'm Chazzy. With me today is the co-host with the most, Mr. Dan Clark.
Hello.
And we are also joined by the marvellous Mr. Ali Mitchell from Twitters.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's all going good. Yeah, how's yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, really good. How you doing, Dan? It seems like ages since I spoke to you on the show.
We haven't spoken for a while, have we? I don't mean we haven't spoken for a while, but I mean on the show we haven't like...
No, we had a big bust-up and we had a big fight and we wouldn't talk to each other.
Yeah, due to musical differences.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to put in Mizuki's Last Chance, and Chazzy was like, no, don't play that one again.
No, I want a Macarena.
You want a Gangnam Style.
Yeah, exactly.
As the millions of people listening to this podcast now do a horse dance automatically, it's like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, so we're joined by Ali, man. Now, where do we know you from? We first met up at Dork Patusa.
Indeed, yep. Not a bad weekend was had there. It was alright. Yep.
Yeah, we had a really good time up there, man. And then we've kept in touch with you from there, and we thought, hey, you're on Skype at the same time. Bring him on the show and say hello. So yeah, what have you been playing, man?
Really, it's just been all about FIFA 13 these past 2 weeks. Can't get enough of it. Can't stop playing.
That's super.
It's really best football game ever.
Isn't that what they say every year?
Well, recently, yeah, certainly since PES got
Rubbish.
became not the best, yeah. But this time it really is I say this time it has been the best. They are right to say it, really.
So what are the main kind of improvements for over 12? You know, because like 12 was obviously pretty damn good. So how much of a leap is it from 12 to 13?
Well, it's essentially just more of the same. I know that sounds like it might be a negative, but they've implemented like this first touch system, so every player in the game has different quality of first touch. It sounds stupid, obviously. People who aren't into football games might be listening to this thinking, hey, it's just FIFA 12 with one tiny new wee feature, but it does make a massive difference to the game.
So it really does impact it, you know. Like, how are you finding the games now? Are they flowing a lot more, or is it because it's getting broken down more? Does it feel a little bit more natural?
They seem to be faster paced, but then at the same time, there's sort of animations that happen which can't. You see them happen quite a lot, basically. The same animation over and over, and you feel like. So
it still has that. It still has that FIFA thing of, still once you've played 50, 60 matches that you're kind of going through the grind a bit more. You know, you're seeing the same stuff and hearing the repeats and seeing the repeats of animations and kind of, it's FIFA again.
Yeah, but then that first touch system makes it different. I mean, that adds the random factor.
Right. See, to a layman, how does that first touch feature work? Because the last FIFA game I've got is FIFA 09.
Well, the way I understand it is that say you've got a Sergio Aguero who plays for Man City. The ball will come to him and he'll get it under at any height. It'll drop from the air and he'll take it under perfect control because he's an incredibly skillful player, and you'll be able to just run off with the ball. Whereas if you're playing with a player from, let's say, League One, the ball will drop down from a height. He'll go to take his first touch. It will bobble off his foot and, get knocked 2-3 foot in front of him.
So you don't have to actually do anything. There's not like some sort of right stick movement.
That's it. It sort of differs depending on what you're doing there as well. Like if you're holding down R2, which is something a lot of people do just by default because that's the sprint button.
Yeah.
And they would pretty much constantly hold it down in FIFA 12. If you're holding down that now, holding that down now with first touch, then the player just won't be able to control it at all. It might go flying off halfway down the pitch.
You have a random element to holding that button down, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the likes of Aguero, if you're not holding down R2, every now and then he might still mess it up.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know,
So it's
it
almost
does have that.
like a random dice roll, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, some players have better stats,
Yeah.
so they'll get a better
They'll
dice
hit that-
roll more often than not.
Exactly. Oh, cool.
And I guess it's like risk and reward in that as well, isn't there? So
Nice. So are you playing? Do you play through FIFA as just like play loads of exhibition matches and a bit of online, or are you one of these guys who goes through the whole kind of RPG element of it and sets themselves up as a character, you know, and go and starts at a lower league club and tries to get themselves moved up and up and up the ladder?
Well, that's something else that's changed between FIFA 12 and FIFA 13.
Alright.
And, well, previous FIFAs as well. I used to always only play online because, frankly, the AI was just boring. After a while, you get to predict what it's going to do and you know how to score against
Right.
it. So I would just play online for that random element of you never know what a player's going to do.
Okay.
FIFA 13, I've been playing that offline, and the AI is good. It makes things interesting. It switches things up. You can't predict it.
So have you been playing through the player progression then, or?
Well, offline, been doing career modes.
Yeah.
As a manager though, not just as a player.
Oh, okay.
You still get to control the matches, but it's
do you
just
still
you
get
control the whole
faxes
team.
coming through?
Indeed, yeah, it is faxes and newspapers rather than websites, of course. It's all very old school.
Nice.
There's even an option to wear, like, do you wear a suit or do you wear a grey cardigan or a shirt and tie?
Oh, you in?
What's your chosen option?
Sorry?
What's your chosen option?
Sheepskin jacket.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone for full
Yeah.
run manager.
Yeah.
So who are you playing with? Who's your team so far?
Well, that's it. I went Liverpool just because I thought they'd have quite a lot of money, and I've basically signed all the best players from the Scottish League to play for Liverpool,
Nice.
just to see how they do in the Premiership.
So essentially, you're Scotland FC, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're not all Scottish, just playing in Scotland, but it's good.
Excellent. Excellent. See, I used to love that. I love that, like getting the old game face and taking a picture of yourself and then putting it in on the website so it actually looks like me and all that kind of stuff, and then fiddling with the stats so like I'm the best player in the world, and then and then dumping me into like some like League One side, and then like, you know, trying to basically like score like 400 goals in my first season, and then try and get like, you know, sent up the leagues and stuff. I love it. It's absolutely hilarious. But the thing is, I'm rubbish at FIFA, so I'm playing it on like the worst level known to man. So like, yeah, I'm just scoring goals for fun, and it's a bit boring. It was a bit boring, but then, you know, you get to see yourself like lifting cups and trophies and stuff. So, but
The shoot button becomes the goal button.
yeah, exactly. So I've been playing it on the. See, what I found is that I've not been. See, I like a while back now, I got like sort of lessons on how to play FIFA, and like I've now with 12.
You mean you actually like sort of like wrote like there was a newspaper advert?
Yeah, sort
like,
of. Well,
FIFA
yeah.
advert?
It was less of a newspaper advert, and it was more like a desperate plea. Please, someone teach me how to play FIFA. I'm rubbish. And yeah, so I ended up like getting these, like sitting down with someone, and they sort of took me through the basics. And now, like in 12, I've sort of got my head around it, and that now I want to get 13 and then take it online and see if I can take those lessons and kind of, you know, see if I'm actually any good or whether I'm just still rubbish and getting trounced 6-0 every game. But yeah, sort of.
You're building up a kind of Rocky situation.
Yeah,
to this,
exactly.
you know?
You'll see me. I'll be like bounding up the steps at work, like jumping, like, you know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm on a bit of a long-term mission to actually get good at FIFA now. So yeah. Love
Have
that.
you thought about taking it online with the like online via pro modes, where, you know, you're one player and 10 other people
Really?
are other players? So
No, I
it's
haven't
like
done
11
that.
v 11 co-op.
No, I haven't done that, man. That sounds incredibly frightening and like scary.
Is it fun to play?
Well, it's brilliant if you're playing with friends. Obviously, like, you can set up your own club, like a clan, and play together against randoms. That's really brilliant because you are working together. It's one of the best co-op games there could possibly
So that
be. Sure.
is that the
Yeah,
mode?
fantastic.
Is that the mode that sort of turns the pitch through 90 degrees, so you're looking down the pitch as opposed to left to right?
You can do, yeah. I mean, you can have whatever camera angle
Oh,
you
so you-
like,
so you
but,
can-
but that's the default.
Oh, so you can play it as a left to right, like as you would do normally, but have 11 of you, like 11 aside teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, I might have to. Yeah, I might have to have a go at that. That sounds quite fun.
And yeah, I mean, what they've changed from 12 to 13 for that is
Yeah.
that in 12, like obviously you have your pro and you level him up by playing games, doing certain, you know, sort of challenges and achievements and stuff. And you could essentially just boost him in single player on easy mode, then bring him online, and just have this brilliant player, sort of undeservedly so. But now in 13, they've completely separated that, so your online player is your online player.
So it sort of
Your
levels up.
offline player is, yeah,
Yes.
just for offline.
All right, so it sort of levels up as you play online, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Kind of COD meets FIFA.
Oh, quality.
Can you bring in like a nuclear strike?
Helicopters and dogs.
The little remote control car with a football.
There's
on
a dog
top.
on the pitch. There's a dog on the pitch. Oh no, not that! He's not chasing the ball. He's chasing me. He's trying to kill me.
Some of the insurgents are on the pitch. They think it's all
Look
over.
at this now. Yeah, what we should do is we should try and find like 11 people and then just get online and have a game against like a bunch of like randoms. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be excellent, man.
Or like, podcast versus podcast.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Try and find 11 people. That'd be wicked. That's a great idea. We'll have to sort that out.
Right, I'm sure the ninjas can find a FIFA
Yeah,
team.
yeah, that'd be wicked. Having said that, we've got like 22 people. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I reckon we can do it.
Yeah, that'll be like all of the listeners that we've ever had. Like,
Multiplied by 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, how's it going to work? They could play with 4 pads each on their own console in their front
Yeah.
room.
One on the feet, one in the hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dan, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing a load of random nonsense as usual. Now, I've been loving my PS1 games on the PS Vita, but I think I spoke about a couple when we were at Eurogamer. But there's, at the price they're at, and for the fact that they're on this lovely little screen, they're just like such a sort of impulse buy. Do you know what I mean? Like, crazy. Like 99p for some of the best games.
It's iOS territory, isn't it?
Yeah, they're getting there. Like Sony are thinking this through a lot better than I was thinking they would. Do you know what I mean? Especially with like PlayStation Mobile. Have you seen that? Where like there's games for literally iOS prices, like
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
between like 40p and a quid.
They really have
It's like,
sort
woohoo.
of. I don't know if they've fallen into it or whether they've just kind of really thought about it, but their strategy with all this PS Plus stuff and, like you say, with their store is really starting to kind of pick up quite nicely now.
I think it's a cross between desperation and accident. The fact that it's worked.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? Like people were complaining so much, they're like, "Oh shit, we need to give them more than we said we would," and they're trying to sort of like paper over all these.
I heard an argument that it's basically because they had that whole hacking scandal that it's kind of given them a boot up the arse to kind of do a little bit more.
I suppose they've had a couple of bad years PR, but like Ali, you're a PS3 person, right?
Yeah, sure. Nice way of
Plus
putting
serves
it.
you really well, doesn't it?
So far, yeah. I mean, well, personally, I did already own quite a lot of the games they've given me, but certainly it's a fantastic deal. Yeah, it's a good thing that I can recommend people join.
See, and yeah, they're going like over and above board, aren't they? Like when it comes on the Vita in November, like see, we I don't think we've even mentioned that on the show yet, have we? So yeah, Plus coming to the Vitas, that's going to be
Yeah, it's
lush.
going to be amazing.
We're probably just going to get like Mod Nation Racers offshoot and everybody's golf, but hey, it's still
Hey, it's better than nothing. I mean, the thing is, it's a great idea for like just before Christmas. People are getting consoles, and they've got this like instant game library that they can just tap into if they can be bothered to like, hook it up and hook it up to their internet and download games. So it's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, so for the Vita PS Plus, do you know if they are also giving you the instant game collection, or is it going to be
Yeah,
be
they're
structured
starting that.
different?
Well, there's going to be some form of that. There are going to be full games available as of November. So, yeah, fingers crossed it all works. I mean, at the moment you get the discounts in the store, but I suppose you'd expect that.
Cool. So what have you picked up then, man?
Oh god, I've Toy Story 2, Cooler World, Resident Evil 3 I got the other week, which you get the 60Hz American version, so that's quite nice.
So does that look a little bit more spangly then?
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't get the black borders top and bottom.
Right.
Apparently, it's because Capcom found it difficult to convert the European one. So it's like, why couldn't they have made more games badly back then that they couldn't convert back now? Because the PAL releases were dreadful back then. That's the one thing I'd really forgotten until playing these on the Vita, that the European releases of PS1 games are vastly inferior.
I seem to remember them being very.
I
seem to remember them being very choppy, and you know, like everyone was sort of coveting the 60 hertz versions whenever it came through. Yeah.
Yeah, or when the occasional game would actually offer it in the menu, it's like, like why don't they all do that anyway? But yeah, the versions we get on the PlayStation Store are the old dirty PAL versions.
Right.
Now, I can't think it would be difficult to apply the language patch from the Euro ones to like American visual files, because it's on a portable system. There's like,
just do.
Do you know what I mean? There's no incompatibility.
Do a quick and dirty like sort of port job of just the language, and you're done.
Yeah, damn right. I mean, a lot of them are really, really good games. Like Crash Team Racing is fucking superb.
I've never played that. What's it like? When did that come out, and what was its contemporaries in the kart racing genre?
Well, in the limited but also vast world of kart racing, it was just after Mario Kart 64 and Diddy Kong Racing. It was the PlayStation's kind of comeback on those, and it's just really well planned. It's like Diddy Kong Racing, where you've got a sort of hub world, and you like drive around and do all the different levels and different objectives within the levels. But yeah, it's just a really tight, solid game. Do you know what I mean?
Talking of Diddy Kong Racing, you know, I was talking about going back and getting a retro consoles. I got the old Nintendo 64. Grabbed a copy of Diddy Kong Racing because I remember really liking it. Fired it up on my big old telly, and then went, "Oh my god, why did I ever like this?" The frame rate's incredibly choppy. Like it's all just like 4 blocks for a cart. It was like, "Oh my god, this is hideous." To completely completely destroyed my memories of what it was.
It's like puffy, fluffy balloons looking at like Nintendo 64 nowadays.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, you know, what I saw in my memory and what was actually on the screen was like two completely different things. It was ridiculous.
Fingers crossed we'll get like a GameCube virtual console or like a really good N64 virtual console on the Wii U. Woohoo! Yeah, sorry, Ali.
Well, no, I mean, Crash Team Racing, I've never played it, but I did play a lot of Mod Nation Racers, and on the community, like, a lot of the best community-made levels were levels that claimed to be from Crash Team Racing. So I feel like I do know it, in a way. So it's a bit like I've time-trialed them all, I suppose.
Bit of a CTR community going on out there, trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, you know. The problem is there were, like, dreadful sequels to Crash Team Racing, which kind of, like, was like the nails in the coffin over the years. But yeah, that first one, like, highly recommend it. Especially if it's not on sale anymore, but if it's on sale and you can get it for a couple of quid. Woohoo!
Nice.
And then Bishi Bashi Special. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, I've never heard of it, mate.
Can't forget it.
No way! Are you being soft, Ali?
Yeah, all the way.
Right now. 40's gonna hate you both.
No, I was saying I can't forget it. Like it's the only PS1 game I've bought from the PSN store in like 5 years. Loving it, yeah.
Yeah, it's Chazzy, man. It's the precursor to say like WarioWare.
Oh, okay.
And things like that. It's just like a ton of mini games. Yeah, you have to play it. No way to explain it really.
Right, okay.
The problem is on the Vita you need to remember which colours were on the PlayStation Pad at the time.
Right.
Because a lot of them are colour based, like you have to tap through green, blue, like red, pink, green, but we don't those colours. So yeah, you just have to.
How does it compare to something like Frobisher Says? Is it like that kind of thing, or is it more like you say?
It's like Frobisher Says, but really good.
But really good, like it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the hipster version in that it was Frobisher Says before it was cool to be Frobisher Says.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool.
Like. Because you downloaded that, didn't you? Of course you did.
Yes. Yeah, mental.
What did you think of it?
Odd. It was odd. It was quite fun for like, you know, putting it on for 5 minutes, giving it to my little one, and then watching her go herring around the house looking for something blue, or you know, stuff like that, like to photograph with a camera.
We've spoken about it, haven't we? Duh, silly me. But yeah, and then it asks you for like money for DLC. Woohoo! Yeah. Unlock the extra levels. No, you're all right. That's enough. But yeah, no, Bishi Bashi, do it, man.
Wicked.
Really good.
Check that out, man. Definitely.
What have you been playing, dude?
Me, I've been banging to Borderlands 2. Just had my head down into that because I was a big fan of Borderlands 1. I had a really weird kind of relationship with that game where it was kind of my FIFA. It's weird. It's like most people would, you know, I don't know if this is what you do, Ali. You kind of come home and go, right, I don't really want to play anything. I just want to sit down and play for a bit of football and just turn my brain off and, you know, have a few games.
Yeah, just sit and relax. Don't need to think about it.
Yeah, and that was what Borderlands was for me. I'd come home, I'd want to play a shooter, but I don't really know. I don't want to get into Call of Duty and be all, you know, adrenalined up, and I don't really want to, you know, play a third-person Gears of War. So I'll just stick Borderlands on, you know, and just go through an area and just destroy it, create a bit of carnage, and then get to a checkpoint and shut it off. And I must have played it like on and off like that for 6 months. So I thought, oh, brilliant, Borderlands 2. And it wasn't like I was like, oh, this is the best game known to man, you know, or anything like that. It was just really nice, comfy, you know, slipper gaming, you know, just come home and slip into my slippers and play a bit of, like, Borderlands. So I thought, brilliant, Borderlands 2's out, nice one. And then, but this time I've really gotten into it, like, it's so much better. The original game, I always found a little bit kind of, the world was supposed to be a wasteland, but it was just like there were vast areas of just walking through nothing. And kind of like everything just felt a little bit like there was stuff missing, and it was just like, right, just walk to this arena that we've set up with like a load of guys in it and kill those guys, and now it's all just still and dead, and then move on to the, you know, and then right, you've got a mission to go here and then here, and you know, it was all a bit, it was just functional. Yeah. But you know, you had the lovely loot system that was kept you ticking through and picking up guns and stuff. Well, that's all still there in Borderlands 2, but they've just fleshed the world out. So you actually feel more like everything's living and breathing, and kind of, you know, bit like Rage was, where like it, you know, you walk into that hub world and there's loads of stuff going on, and you know, hub world, the old hub town or whatever it was, you know, everything feels like it's living and breathing, and all, you know, whereas in the first Borderlands, like, you'd come out of that and there was nothing going on, it was just empty. Now you come out of that and there's like stuff to do, or car chases to go on, or, you know, there's little...
Cause that's exactly what people had a problem with Borderlands 1, so
yeah.
It sounds like they've fixed
it. Yeah, they've basically just taken all those like, sort of concerns to heart, and then tried to make them work in the best way possible. I mean, it still suffers from that kind of WoW thing of, right, here's a mission, now go all the way to the other side of the world to complete it, and then come and then walk all the way back, or like fast travel all the way back to then turn it in. You know, that still feels a little archaic, but, you know...
Although, how else would you do that?
Well, there are ways of doing it where you sort of complete the quest and you could turn it in remotely, you know, because you've got those, like, you're getting codecs, like people chatting away over the radio all the time. So it wouldn't be inconceivable that you could, you know, someone would go, oh, brilliant, you've completed that quest, right? Turn it in now, and then you just turn it in, and yeah, you know, it's based in that kind of what you could go to a fast travel station and just send them the bit of equipment via the data channels or whatever, you know. There's ways and means around it, I'm sure.
Do you have enough quests to do on the way that it doesn't really matter?
This is the thing,
is there are all of these things at the same time.
That's the thing, is it's not that there are quests on the way. It's just like, right, get to this area and there's a shitload of quests, and then come all the way back and turn them in. You know, if you took more of a kind of Guild Wars 2 thing of like, you know, or a WoW thing of like, on the way there's, oh, you've just bumped into these people and there's a quick quest to do here on the way, you know, and then you move on to the next area, and it forces you up to the point where you've actually got to do this big main mission. That would be amazing, but they just don't do that, you know. So there's a little bit of frustration there, but nothing. But you know, you kind of look past it because they're doing it with a shooter in a funny kind of way. You know, but it can be a bit frustrating. What I'm loving about it though is that, like, I've been getting online with like a group of 2 or 3 mates, and then ploughing through it in co-op, which has been brilliant because it just turns into utter carnage. It's like you've got one guy like taking down robots, another guy trying to take people out from the sky. I'm lifting people up with a singularity, and while I do that, someone's dumping down a turret, and someone else is using their assassin skill to like sneak up behind them and stab them in the back. And it's brilliant. You know, it's, you know, once you get it all, your timing down and stuff, you can, you know, it just turns into utter carnage, and you're just like, oh my god, this is amazing. You know, some of the missions are brilliant, and like some of the missions are hilarious. You know, it's all self-referential, and there's a lot of sort of meme humour and that kind of thing. And you know, there's like a mission that's all based around Top Gun. You know, and like you end up fighting guys like shirtless dudes around a volleyball net, and like, you know, what was the other one as well, like the Ninja Turtles one. And there's like references to Minecraft, and there's like a Minecraft mission, and You know, it's all this kind of like mad like game referential stuff, and yeah, it's been brilliant.
So the people that are saying it's hipster wank being too hipster about
It's
it.
not hipster. It's more kind of internet nod and wink. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, do you remember this meme? You know, check this out. You know, so all that kind of stuff. But like I say, the multiplayer's been, like, the co-op stuff has been brilliant. And the thing is if you're doing that, you're getting more XP and better loot if you're with people than if you're playing single player. So it's trying to force you into playing co-op.
Is that how you're playing it from now on?
Well, what I fell into a bit of a problem is that it falls into that thing of if you don't keep at round about the same level as people, then you end up getting left behind. And I'm now in this situation where I'm 10 levels behind my mates because I had a week off where I was working and couldn't get to the machine and play with them and whatever. So now I'm 10 levels behind, and then I thought, right, I'll tell you what, I'll just jump into their game because I'm under-leveled and my XP is just going to go through the roof. But the problem is they were like 2 or 3 missions ahead of where I was. So it sort of just skipped all those bits out in the middle, and then I was on their mission. So when I saved out of it, I'd missed like 3 or 4 side quests that I couldn't go back to.
Oh, harsh.
So all that XP, like I was getting more XP for joining them, but I wasn't getting enough XP that where I was when I went back to my game that I was actually up at the right level. So I then had to like go back and then just do as many side quests and bits and bobs and just go around killing loads of like skag enemies and stuff, just so I could grind up back to where I should be to then carry on with the game. So it's one thing to like watch out for is that if you jump into someone else's game and they're a higher level than you, you could get like, you know, you could be missing out on content.
Sort of dragged past.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been really sort of now I've not got those guys to play with. I'm kind of having to, like you say.
Why isn't that a massive issue?
Well, like I say,
it seems like it's kind of game breaking. You know,
it'll work. It works. If you're low level and going into someone high level's game, then it doesn't work. But if it works the other way round, where you get the high level guys to come into your game at low level, I don't think it saves them. It doesn't take them back through the story. If you know what I mean. They don't try and travel back. It just keeps them at their more advanced stage, but they jump back into your game to help you out, sort of thing. So I think that's the way you need to do it. If you jump forward, then it screws you. So that's just something to bear in mind. Well, that's my experience with it anyway. But it's just been brilliant. It's just been good fun, and it's more, like I say, more slipper gaming for me, and picking up all this like amazing loot and like shotguns that not only fire rockets, but when you reload it, you throw the shotgun and then it homes in on the enemy and then hits them and does corrosive damage. Like just seeing a shotgun flying like it's Superman, weaving its way around a level until it finds someone and then hitting them and exploding is just like, this is crazy. This is brilliant. You know, it's just it's just big, stupid, dumb fun. You know, you can't really read too much into it, and there's a bit of a story going on and blah blah blah, but it just revels in being stupid and dumb and like hilarious, really.
Yeah, just a good fun game.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's just good fun. That's right, exactly.
It knows it's a game. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't try.
Yeah, absolutely,
shy away from
absolutely, and that's kind of what I've needed. Like I've said it before, like got a bit sort of dragged down with games that are a little bit too self-serious, and like this has just been brilliant. Yeah, it's been good fun. Just a good crack through a story. So, yeah, really enjoyed it.
Have you played the first one, Ali?
Yep, and it's big dumb fun. Not much more to say. I enjoyed it. Even got platinum trophy actually, but it was just brainless fun, like Chazzy's saying when he comes home from work, turns it on. It's good. I am interested in picking up the second one, but does it have an online pass? Like, does it need an online pass or?
I don't know because I bought it day one and I got a like premium edition that gives you like a golden key, and what you've got is like a big gold chest in the main town. If you go to that, it always gives you like a top level item. So that's. But I don't know whether that's an online pass or not. It might be that code unlocks.
Oh, whether it included it with it.
I don't know. But yeah.
And you said earlier there was like driving missions and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of driving, and what's the driving like?
The driving's Halo-esque. You get like at the moment I've got like a choice of a couple of vehicles, and it's all things just like chase this bootlegger down and fire at the barrels on his roof and get him to drop the barrels, and you know, shoot down this many. Because the other thing is, you've got these badass ranks. So you've got like, you know, like you would have in Call of Duty, where it's like get 100 shots 150 shots with a shotgun, get 150 shots with a machine gun.
Yeah.
All of that is built into the game, but obviously there's more and more crazy ones as you go through, and they give you badass points, which then you can then trade in and then up your stats, but up your stats across all of the characters. So if you're playing as a Siren and a soldier, like you'll get a +3 bonus to your fire rate across both of those characters. So if you play as a soldier and you're getting badass points, that then relates back to the Siren, and that gives her badass points as well. So you've got this overarching leveling up system over the leveling system of each individual story, which is pretty cool. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, it's there's a few driving missions, and there's a few bit like get to here, get to there, deliver these packages, and you've got to sort of jump in a car and race off to somewhere, and it's very much like Borderlands 1 was in that respect. I mean, it's basically more of the same done better, done a lot better with a lot more humour, which is really I find really cool. Some people might find it just turgid, but I like I said, I enjoyed the game, and now they've just up their game basically on it. So yeah.
See, all I wanted was more denseness from the first one. Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't like it. So
yeah.
I might give this a go then.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you should do, man. I think you'd like it. Worst way, you jump back in with me and we can co-op through it, and I'll start a new character, because they've got this new character, the Mechromancer, that's just literally come out, and it's kind of like, this is the one that they were getting all the heat for being a girlfriend mode.
Yeah.
And instead of like a commando where you put down a turret, you throw out like a robot that goes around attacking people, much the same as a turret would do. But apparently that one's got like a mode on it that's essentially what they say that they got in trouble for calling the girlfriend mode, where like you shoot things and then it kind of just, all the bullets just, you could shoot in any random direction and the bullets just attack the nearest person, if I remember rightly. But like I said, brilliant. We should get involved, man. We should get involved, definitely.
See, people complain about that girlfriend mode thing.
Yeah.
But then in Gunstar Heroes, you had like a homing gun, and like that's one of the sort of like
Jaws for it.
One of the best 16-bit games. Yeah. So.
Excellent.
So don't complain about girlfriend mode until you play Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah, I think it was more that it was called girlfriend mode than it was actually that it was just easy.
Fair point.
Than that it was easy. Yeah. So.
Girlfriend mode in the Gunstar Heroes, I think it was.
Right.
I think it's in all Treasure games.
I like your pronunciation, mate.
Proper Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I did learn for years and years. Yes. So I've been playing Bulletstorm.
Oh right.
Which, like, again, you were looking for just something to shoot stuff in, and so was I. I was thinking of like, I tried Fallout New Vegas, and it involved too much wandering and not enough shooting, and then I almost resorted to Clive Barker's Jericho. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, it wasn't getting that bad, was it?
Well, it was just like, just to shoot stuff in an environment that I hadn't sort of played before. I didn't want to like play through a COD again or something like that. So then I thought, Bulletstorm, and that's all crazy and dumb and fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, very much so. I mean, that's the epitome of crazy and dumb and fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what we should call the show. We should call this week's show "Crazy, Dumb and Fun."
The thing is, though, is it really dumb and fun? Well, it's obviously fun, I suppose. But I mean, like, it gets quite complex with the amount of combos and stuff you can do, isn't it? Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, no, the gameplay is really complex, man. It's kind of almost the sort of Tony Hawk's or Burnout.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how does it compare? Because it was always compared to the Club. Do you remember that? Where you went through and you sort of comboed your way through levels.
Yeah, by the Project Gotham people. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, how does it sort of... Like, how did you find that kind of combo system? Did you find... Because obviously it's like, it's got a story and you've got to go through it. Did you find that you were more worried about comboing your way through a level than you were actually just trying to, be the epic, protagonist who's, getting to the
I've kind of half forgotten about the story that's going on, and it's more about just trying to find what other skill shots and use the slide, the kind of vanquishy slide through stuff. It's just fun to try and figure out ways to do that, to get through things quicker, and then leap up behind people and see, have they planned that out? Do you know
so what's your Ali? Do
they know I'm going to do this?
Yeah.
it's the kind of fun of it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm ignoring the story completely. But
So Ali, I mean, obviously you've played. It sounds like you've played through Borderlands. You've played through Bulletstorm. Have you got any kind of like best combo scenario type things? You know, with like moments from the game where you just like that sort of surprised you with it.
Honestly not. I mean, I never got sick of whipping a guy into a, like, Venus flytrap type plant. But no, it's been like about 2 years since I played it, so
I did like
that's
the way
thing.
I did like the way that it did that, where it kind of called out and it had a silly little name for like shooting them in the nuts, or I know it sounds very base and very stupid, but there was a sort of slight gratification from getting the nut shot, or oh look, I've done it again, whee!
yeah, like you've got a big fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Or stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, something just dumb and stupid about being able to do that. But yeah, guilty pleasure.
It's the fact that there's so many of them, and when you go into that menu, it tells you like the new ones.
Yeah.
It's like yay!
So have either of you co-opted your way through it, like played that their kind of multiplayer score attack?
Well, I would like to, but when I played through it before, I didn't have an online pass. However, now it's just came out free on PS Plus, so yeah, now I have it and I have an online pass, so I'd love to.
Oh, I should
if
do
you
that with
fancy
you.
it.
Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll report back on it if you want.
Sorry, but there must be something quite offensive about Bulletstorm, because my cat's just vomited on the floor actually. So
It's either that or the quality of our content, mate.
yeah, I don't know if you could hear that. She was like gagging, and then it's all came out. It's cool, right? It's cool.
Nice.
we'll let it seep
I know,
in
box
for a little bit.
exclusive.
Yeah.
At least it's not pissing in a box.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
At least
funny.
it's not shat on the bread bin this week, but
Nice. Right, so is that everything that everyone's been playing? Or has anyone got anything else outstanding?
No. There's one game you all have to play at least a
Right,
trial
go
of on XBlick.
What's that?
Undead Syndrome. It's a cheap XBlick game, and it looks like a sort of PS1-y, PS2 game, but they think they're like Grasshopper.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a sort of survival horror game, and it's meant to be all weird and crazy.
So is
but it's quite
Grasshoppers the
badly
people who
made.
did Shadows of the Damned, yeah?
Yeah, and Killer 7.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's got a very Killer 7 sort of vibe and feel to it.
Right.
But the people that are making it obviously aren't good enough to make that kind of game very well.
But is it?
So
but is it not like a sweary thing where it's so bad that it's good?
Yes, sort of. It's not as good as Deadly Premonition, but it's along those lines
Right,
where
okay.
it's worth playing the trial of at least,
Right.
just for the weirdness of it.
Sweet.
Like absolutely ridiculous. Like it's trying to be Silent Hill and all of those things where you walk through some fog and end up back where you were somewhere else, but it's all done so badly that it's a wonderful thing. So yeah, go and play it.
Nice. Right, let's get out of it. Let's get let's get to the break. Break.
Let's do that. Bye.
Break. God, I feel really elitist playing FIFA 13 when you guys are still playing the older versions.
Are you calling us pikeys?
Since when did football games become a metaphor for the class system?
I look down on him because I am FIFA 13.
I look up to him because he is FIFA 13, but I look down on him because he is FIFA 11. I am FIFA 12.
I know my place. I look up to them both, but I don't look up to 12 as much as I look up to 13, because he's got an innovative first touch control system.
I have got an innovative first touch control system, but my Wii port is a straight copy of FIFA 12, so sometimes I look up to him.
I still look up to 13, because although I have more players online, my statistics are out of date. But I'm not as outdated as 11, so I still look down on him.
I know my place. I look up to them both. But while I'm outdated, I'm fully patched, playable, and very, very cheap. Had I the inclination, I'd look down on them, but I don't.
We all know our place, but what do we get out of it?
I get a feeling of superiority over them.
I get a feeling of inferiority from 13, but a feeling of superiority over 11.
Them bloody griefers are a pain in the neck. But they'll all have to bugger off to 12 and 13 when my servers get switched off.
We know our place.
And we're back. Now, a lot of people that listen to podcasts and sort of follow podcasters and stuff will know Ali a bit, but we wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So, when did you first start listening to podcasts, man?
Difficult to put a timestamp on it, but I can say One Life Left was the first one that I ever listened to, with Joypod being second after their appearance on One Life Left.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the same as myself, man. Oh, OLL was like, great show. Anyway, sorry.
What do you mean was a great show? Yeah, exactly.
Is a
Still
great
going.
show. Yeah, of course. It's a fantastic show. Yeah, sorry. I just mean like the sort of community around it and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned community, because it was after then that the sort of UGN called themselves, the Unified Gamers Network, started up. They had the whole series of podcasts like Gamer Dark, Gamer Scene. I believe Gameburst joined them when that first started, and that's when I feel the community did really start to sort of identify with itself, and we had this community of not just UK podcasters but UK podcast listeners as well.
So that's a question for you, because I came to this all a bit sort of late compared to you guys, but was there literally just no UK podcasting scene, and then all of a sudden just one day 3 or 4 just appeared out of nowhere, and then it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew? Was it an explosion, or was it just a gradual thing that sort of started over time?
There were loads and loads of very early podcasts that sort of badly recorded. I hate to say it, but really, really badly recorded, where people use their laptop mics and stuff.
You mean
to,
like us
and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? yeah, pretty much, pretty much like that. Yeah, like that, but without the headsets. But in the early days, there were lots and lots and lots of podcasts, even from the UK, not as much as from the States. Then there was kind of the second wave of it, which I think was Joypod and a few other of the sort of stalwarts of what we've now got. But I don't think there was any sort of it was like a mushrooming of as things do, it went viral. Do you know what I mean? People started making their own shows because they had the ability to make their own shows, and then with iTunes being there, people could just get out there and record shows.
No, if I just
it seems seems like a lot of this generation of podcasters are people who listened to that. I mean, I don't want to say first generation. Obviously, there were podcasts before then. But a lot of these podcasts around now are people who were listeners of say, Gamer Dark.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be, though, isn't it? It's it kind of makes sense to me that that's the way that it would work, that you end up becoming sort of ensconced in the sort of the, what's the word? The language of podcasts almost. Do you know what I mean? And you kind of want to take part in that yourself. And
so was it the Britishness of these shows that kind of drew you to them, Ali?
I actually found it was more to do with me just growing up as a person. I had less time to read websites and forums and magazines, right. So it was just a different way of absorbing news. Hearing about what games are worth playing, what's been happening in the news, and of course the fact that they were all done by nice, likeable, funny guys helped a little bit.
Again, not like us.
Well, exactly.
Cool. Next question.
So what was your first console or computer?
It's going to surprise some people, but an Amstrad CPC 64.
Hello.
Exactly. I mean, I'm quite lucky in that when I was born, I had a big brother who was 12 years older, so he had an Amstrad, and I mean, I believe I've heard stories. I was a baby just watching him play it for years, and then eventually I got cognitive enough to start touching it myself.
And the joystick.
Exactly. His and mine. And
grim.
Welcome to Scottish humour.
And it was good. I'm led to believe I've been gaming for as long as I physically can, which isn't necessarily something to be proud of.
So, what was your sort of first Amstrad game then? What's the the game that you remember most fondly from that system?
All right, well, two different questions. There's one of the earliest games I remember is Harrier Attack. Are you guys familiar with Harrier Attack? Or
yeah, is this side on or top down? Because I remember 2 Harrier games.
Side on. You just control this little sprite, flying automatically left to right. You've got to go up and down to dodge bullets and then drop bombs on ships.
It's a bit like Scramble.
Yeah, or even Penetrator. There's.
Yeah. Must resist. Must resist. Obvious joke.
But then, oddly enough, the ones that stick out in my mind, are ones. Well, they're very personal. Like the Famous Five text adventure. Now you might think text adventures. There's a few classics, but the Famous Five text adventure was genius.
That's the one for you. You were going in for lashings of ginger beer then, you know.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you could swear in front of Aunt Fanny, and like she'd get cross with you. Like buy ice cream from the little shop.
Did you figure out which one was Jimmy Savile by the end?
Wrong.
Yeah, definitely masquerading as Uncle Dick.
Uncover him. I told you it was the DJ.
Yeah, I never completed that. I think it was bugged. I mean, it came free with a magazine, like so many games used to. Like full games free with a magazine. I suppose that's the early onset of indie development, is it?
Oh yeah, a lot of indie games now are kind of taking that sort of model from the early days.
Yeah, and there were people that just sent in games that got them on the front of magazines.
It's they're very similar models, like indie games now, and kind of games from like what we would call full retail games from back then. Definitely.
Like harking back to the Amstrad, I mean, looking at it, most of the games I played and most of the great games on it were just ports of Commodore games or ports of Spectrum games, and I feel Amstrad owners sort of we're looked down upon because we never had a Commodore or a Spectrum, but we got the best of both worlds. So I think honestly we're the ones laughing in the end because the ports, they were good ports of, we got it all.
You're resurrecting playground fights of like 30 years ago, man.
So after the old Amstrad, then, what did you graduate onto? Little Ali.
Yeah, Little Ali's first console was a Master System, but it was like 25 quid brand new, so the Mega Drive must have been out for years previously. Of course, it had Alex Kidd built in. Got to the final boss 3 times, never once beat him. That's a real stain on my life.
Has it gone on to like haunt?
It has.
But you did learn how to play, rock paper scissors. So
well, you say that. Thing is, like, I never realised this at the time, but like each of the enemies who you play rock paper scissors with has the symbol that they're going to choose above their head. Like the paper guy's head is made of paper.
All right. Yeah. So
and the rock guy's head,
like hiding it in plain sight.
Yeah, I never figured that out. I was like 4 years old, honestly.
You sort of found out 2 years ago, and like now you're kicking yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I could have completed that game, and I didn't. And
maybe that's why you can. Yeah. Oh, you should go back and do that boss now.
Well, I'm tempted to get it on PSN, but I don't know.
Oh, is it on
I
there?
think it is. Certainly, one of the Alex Kidd games is. 2 of them, in fact.
Nice.
But I'm not sure. Yeah.
Now there's some to avoid, but yeah, get that one.
Yeah.
So much love for the Master System then.
Well, not really.
No? It was just there. It existed. Whatever.
It's not like I had a choice. Like being a little boy, essentially you play what you're given. You can't go out and buy games or anything.
But do you?
I think I only did own 3.
Yeah.
So.
Do you as an adult, like obviously now, I mean I don't know how disposable your income is, but like we can go out and buy something of our choosing and make an informed decision. But obviously back when you were a kid, you couldn't do that. So do you wish that you could have someone go back to those days and just have someone go, right, here you go, this is your thing, get on with it? Or,
Metacritic the magazine once a month.
Right, here's your one game for the year, here's the system that I'm telling you to buy it on, and that's it, go. Or,
I don't know. I've got fond memories. I wouldn't go back and change anything because saying I only own 3 games, one of them was Speedball 2, and that's pretty much perfection of its day.
No, it's a superb game. That's
So yeah.
What was it we were playing? We were playing that in the retro section at Eurogame, weren't we, Dan? A bit of Speedball 2, and I've forgotten how that looks. That still looks lovely on a little 14-inch CRT telly. It looks beautiful. It was weird. It was sort of picked up that joystick and started playing, and instantly knew everything to do, where to stand, where not to stand, how to, kick and punch people. Admittedly, it wasn't too difficult as there was only one button, but it was like just instantly I was kind of 10 again, and I was, or whatever, 12, and I was back on the Amiga playing Speedball 2. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
It controls really fluidly as well for like a really old game.
Really, really held up well. It's a shame that the iOS versions, obviously, with their on-screen controls and stuff, doesn't really work quite as well. But it sort of made me go, do you know what? Oh, my new retro thing of like go back and buy an Amiga, but I'm having to, I'm being physically restrained from doing it at the moment. But
I tried so hard to like the iOS version. Do you know what I mean? It had everything going for it, but yeah, as you say, like the controls, you're kind of getting so in the way of what you're playing.
It just makes it,
kind of pointless.
But like, clearly someone made an iOS version, so someone owns the rights to it. So could we not do with a PSN or Xbox Live speedball game? I mean, it would sell, wouldn't it?
Is there not one?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there is on XBL.
There's one on XBL, or there was. Whether it's
is that just a remake?
Should we fact check this live?
Hold on.
Like, is that a remake?
Oh, do you mean have the actual original one?
Well, I mean make a new one.
Oh, right. Okay. But
like essentially just the same.
Okay, so how would here we go. Quick diversion. How would you make a new speedball game for this generation?
I would keep it pretty much the same, but just have a much larger player database.
So would you do it as a downloadable Xbox Live PSN title?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, downloadable, but with online play.
Still sprite based.
Still sprite based, yeah. Or maybe not even sprite based. Something fluid, like I want to say the top down Sensible Soccer game that was out a few years ago on Xbox Live.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's essentially the same.
Right.
Graphics might be a bit.
The big question: dubstep.
No, trance.
Okay, fair enough.
Trance and jungle psychedelic.
Fair enough.
See, it looks like they did make it. Speedball 2 Greetle Deluxe. You could choose the sprites or an enhanced HD version. So, but it's almost an exact conversion. Like I think Ali would, like you saying, you'd want a more of a deeper single player experience.
Well, yeah, because one of the great things about it was obviously like leveling up your players and signing new players, but there were actually only about 16 players in the whole database. So what we need is just some, like a data pack or something.
Nice.
Oh, it's been delisted from Xbox Live Arcade as well.
Yes, I thought.
But as you say, if it's come out on iOS, then someone must own it. Damn. Right, we need to start a campaign to get that back on Xbox Live, just so we can play it and say to Ellie, yeah, it's quite good actually.
That's it, we're on a campaign trail. Sweet.
It's the sort of thing Kickstarter is perfect for, though, isn't it? See how much interest there is in making it.
It's like those kind of sort of deranged Kickstarters you see of like, I want to bring back, cannon fodder. I don't have the rights, but if I raise enough money, then I'll try and buy the rights. It's like, what's the point? You've got nothing in the bag, as it were. You don't know anyone, you don't know anything, but you're hopefully going to get some money to hopefully buy the rights.
I bet there were people that thought that about the Carmageddon one.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was. I think there was like a pinball one that was like that. It was like, right, we're going to bring these pinball tables and make them into a game, but they didn't. And basically, the Kickstarter was, we don't actually have the rights. We're going to chase the people up for them with the money. But yeah,
bless. It's like trying to put a legal version of MAME on there. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll sort out the licensing for every arcade machine ever. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Ridiculous.
It's like, did you guys have a Master System at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister.
Right, so just what games really? What games stand out for you guys?
Super Hang On.
Ooh.
Hang On. That was.
I think you'll find it was the original Hang On.
Hang On. I remember Hang On. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that came free with a lot of the earlier ones, didn't it? I think before Alex Kidd, it was Hang On that you got free with it, and the little snail maze.
My sister
game.
used to love that. In fact, I'm going to embarrass her now. She loves it so much that now every time she signs a birthday card, she puts a little snail on it. But there you go.
Wow.
Pretty much got the design for the snail that she draws from the the Master System. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I used to really like a game called Kung Fu Kid. It had a wall bounce mechanic, so it was a bit like N or N+. Like quite an early form of that. And then as you jump off the wall, you're in a flying kick already. So if you come into an enemy, you're like automatically taking them down. It just plays really nicely. Do you know what I mean? A very modern feel to, like, kind of a Meat Boy-esque feel to it. Yeah.
I love the fact that any platformer now is just basically Meat Boy-esque. It doesn't matter what it is.
That's because Meat Boy is everything else-esque.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? It's like they took every inspiration from their childhood and put it in a game.
But it's just that really convenient shorthand that everyone sort of uses. I just think it's funny.
I tried playing that again the other day, and because I haven't got very far in it because it's really difficult. But I started playing it again. I'm on like the second or third, towards the end of the second world. And I just got to a point where it's just like, I'm doing this like 50 times to win a level. And it was like, these levels are fun. Like, it is a fun game, but it just became to the point where it was so trying. It was like, no, I can't do it anymore.
It broke you. Yeah, rather than you.
Yeah. And that's what it's supposed to do, really, isn't it? Like,
excellent.
Because have you seen Indie Game the movie?
Do you know what? I bought that yesterday, and I'm currently just going for. I watched the first 20 minutes of it, and then got called away to do something. But yeah, I'm gonna have a proper watch of it. Though I did find the introduction kind of incredibly pretentious, but I think that's just Jonathan Blow more than anything else.
He becomes less pretentious as it goes on.
Right. Okay.
Like, yeah, it is wanky, but they all come across as like you get to see enough of them to realise, hang on, they're actually really nice people. The snapshots that you see at the beginning are just that, they're snapshots.
Gotcha. No, I'm really, from what I've seen, it definitely looks well interesting, so yeah.
It's great to see, when I'm playing Super Meat Boy, I'm thinking, now having seen the film, of their fiendish grins as they're programming it that you see, and it's like, you bastards, you beat me.
You know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just, it kind of adds an extra layer to the game for me. Right. Like this, like I say, the film's kind of motivated me to go back and play it, which is
cool.
Quite a nice thing. It's worked. Like, really good PR for them, because they lost quite a lot of money at first.
Yeah. More questions?
So, are there any of those games where, everyone's like, ooh, Chrono Trigger, ooh, Final Fantasy VI, like, where everyone else loves it? Are there any that you really didn't get of those big games?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to flip it. Well, the Ghostbusters game, the original Ghostbusters game, was on Nintendo, Amstrad, Commodore, everything. Everyone always slates that, saying how bad it is, but I really love it. Like, even to this day, just going around on that map and going into areas, it's really good.
Is that the Ghostbusters with the incredible, sort of bitmappy voice at the start of it?
Ghostbusters! Yeah.
That's the one. Do it again, Dan. Yeah, that's the one. Wicked, man.
Yeah, I really liked that when I was a kid, on the Spectrum, even though that's one of the worst versions, apparently. But, Ali, what did you play it on?
Amstrad and Master System. So good that
the Master System one's really good, isn't it?
It even has a shot that the Amstrad one doesn't have, but
yeah. Yeah, the Amstrad one's the Master System one's a massive improvement. Like, you can tell there's a bit of sort of Sega Japanese design thrown into this older game.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's a bit more arcadey in the driving bits.
It's one of those rare occasions where they've kind of ported it over and got a different team to do it, and they've actually improved.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great game, but on the Master System, so definitely, if you're going to play Ghostbusters, go for the Master System version, please. Anyway, should we talk about some news?
Yes, mate. Go.
You've flagged up an interesting one here, man.
Yeah.
Apparently, the World of Warcraft cities have been hacked.
Yeah.
Is this right?
Yeah, basically, what ended up happening is a group have found an exploit where they can take a level 1 character and basically kill all the NPCs and player characters in a city. And they've managed to attack a few servers worth of World of Warcraft players with this exploit. And it was a big deal. I can't remember if it was just before Pandaria or around about the launch of Pandaria, but it was a pretty big thing. There's a lot of people freaking out about it.
I bet.
I mean, can you imagine? You just sort of wander into town and you don't know what's gone on, and everything's been decimated, and it's just you there. Oh my God, what's happened?
What if though, the Matrix is real, and that's Neo trying to get through, and they're shutting him down. He's actually trying to save us all from playing World of Warcraft.
It's rotting your brains. It's destroying you. So I sound like
whereas he is the one. A level 1 character can destroy everything.
Yeah. You sound like my mum. Not that a level 1 character. I mean, it's right in my brain. And
bless.
But yeah.
So see, I've never played World of Warcraft. How important is this as news in that world? Is it like when all that stuff got stolen in EVE Online?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean, basically, imagine if you want to go to the auction house, you have to go to an NPC to get to to open the auction house menu, and you have to talk to him. I believe you have to talk to him, and it opens. So if he's been killed, you've got no way of accessing the auction house, and if the quest character that you're trying to take your quest back to has been killed, you've got no way of turning in the quest and getting your XP. So it's pretty big deal. I mean, it's pretty much the hooks of the game have all been taken out.
Now, I'm guessing it's been fixed now.
Oh, yeah, apparently, it got hot fixed pretty much straight away, and yeah, pretty much the hole was sealed, but obviously there was quite a few people that were affected by it. But yeah, but it's just like one of those great stories, like you say, with like EVE Online, where someone's obviously been concocting this plan for like months and months and months, and then just attacked it.
Wait for the big new expansion as well.
Exactly. It's amazing. I love all these like MMO stories. They're great.
Did you hear about? I didn't write this one down. But in the PS Vita hacking scene, it's all kicked off and there's crazy drama. Now, I'm not condoning what people have done with their Vitas, but some people have managed to hack the PSP emulator to run Homebrew.
Right.
Now, one guy figured out a version that would work for anyone, and it was a kernel exploit, which means, they could basically access whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And then this guy seems to have gone in and blackmailed the whole of the hacking scene, and it's all just gone into complete drama. It's
really?
The weirdest thing. It's like a soap opera's just kicked off or something.
But in this tiny little small community of like a few people.
Yeah, not really. It's a massive community. If you look at the community that was on the PSP, you've basically got all of those involved in this community. So it's kind of a big thing in sort of very, very geeky news. But yeah, this guy's left the scene who was known as being one of the good guys.
Right.
And as this guy didn't want to leak his code for people who wanted to use it for piracy, he's now left the scene, which means that it's now sadly more open to piracy. So yeah, it's just a weird little side point.
All right.
If you're interested,
yeah.
Yeah, playing Homebrew on your Vita.
Hello.
Now, this is a weird story, man. Microsoft on Windows 8 aren't going to sell adult content.
Right. So, what is their store marketplace thing? For Windows 8. What is on it? I mean, is it like the kind of app store where it's utilities and widgets and blah blah blah, or is this like that plus?
It's meant
games
to be the storefront for games on demand, and like the Windows version, even though they still call it Xbox Live on Windows, or they did. But yeah, it's all of that incorporated into the new Windows 8.
Right.
So this involves games that are either PEGI 16 or rated mature in the United States.
So basically, if they wanted to put a Call of Duty on the marketplace,
they can't do it.
All right. Seems a little odd. Why you'd want to limit yourself in that respect.
Yeah, of course. That's why no one can really understand what they're saying.
Yeah, it's kind of an
now they're saying that Microsoft could make exceptions, but then if there are exceptions, then there's no point in
having the rule in the first place.
Yeah. Unless companies have to pay for an exception to the rule, which would look really, really bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They can't be doing that, surely.
But it's a nice little story for the conspiracy theorists to get involved with.
Yeah. And it's just a weird decision, isn't it?
It does seem a little bit odd, but then again, I can see it does mean that they can stop all the porn and fart apps, and that kind of stuff. But and they can let things through at their discretion.
But they could have done that anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. It's
just have a no porn rule and a no
true.
Shovelware rule. That's probably easier,
no shovelware. If we deem this as shit, then we will not put it on our service.
I mean, if you guys think of the games that you've played in the past year, I'd say probably over half of them would not be allowed. Would that be about right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Although I mean,
sorry, what you can say, Al?
Well, I heard I'm sure I read this past week that Notch was criticising this decision by Microsoft, saying he doesn't want it to become such a closed platform. But then didn't he bring Minecraft to the 360, and isn't that an incredibly closed platform as well? Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's one of those things. I would imagine his argument would be that the PC has never been a closed platform, and now you're closing it, and you're taking away what is the kind of fundamentals of what the PC is.
Yeah.
And the PC architecture system. Their model. I would imagine that's probably what he's aiming at. If you create an Xbox and it's a closed system from the start, then you don't really have much of an argument to say, well, I'm not putting my thing on there because it's a closed system. But if it's a PC, you get the idea. But, yeah.
Sorry, Notch, I take it back.
Also, it doesn't mean you can't get those games outside of the Windows 8 store.
No, exactly. Exactly.
It's not like they won't play on Windows 8, which would be a much worse thing.
And anyway, I'm not being funny, but who's actually upgraded to Windows 8? Because no one ever really upgrades straight away. You know, it's going to take a while for that to proliferate. And is anyone going to really use... This is the other thing. Is anyone going to really use their store when there's so many other...
When there's Steam.
Yeah, when there's
GOG.
Steam and GOG and every other downloads and Amazon and every other download service known to man. You know.
Yeah,
they're just,
unless you're on a tablet, I suppose.
Yeah, they're just sort of putting themselves out of that market to gain any, customers, really.
Yeah, those silly people.
Yeah, you make it more accessible and people will come to you. If you make it less accessible with less content, then people aren't going to be bothered, are they? But, supply and demand, blah, 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 marketing. Move on.
Yeah, then we've got a really sweet little story here
Yeah.
that Ali's brought to us to finish off.
Yes, mate.
So what is this thing you've been telling us about?
Okay, well, each year in October, there's an organisation, they call themselves Sick Kids Save Point, and they do 24-hour gaming marathons, where the money being raised is for Edinburgh's Sick Kids Hospital. And it just so happens that this year they're doing it, very soon. And I just thought I'd give them a little shout out and a little mention if anyone would like to keep tabs on them. You can watch it happen live, or you can donate. It's obviously all for a good cause, but then...
Have they got any details, like, for how you can donate and all that kind of stuff?
If you go to justgiving.com/sickkidssavepoint3, then that's the sort of generic page for donating to the cause for this year.
Cool.
The 3 at the end is very important, because obviously there was a 1 and 2 for previous years.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I mean, it's quite, I feel bad coming on a podcast and asking people to give money, but
No, do you know what I mean?
it's exactly,
Like,
it's all for the kids, and it's good timing that's this weekend rather.
You should never feel bad for saving sick kids. Really, really don't. It's fine.
No,
that's
just
a good thing.
yeah, it's something I was involved in last year, and this year I haven't got involved, so I suppose I'm just trying to do my little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you certainly are. You've done your bit, man.
Okay. Cheers. I don't know. I really like that end, but you've done your bit, man. It's all good. Don't cry.
Go, yeah, I believe I can fly. and then a big glow behind you.
We need like a different strokes moral to like.
Yeah, exactly. We all need to freeze, and then you just give a really monologue to the camera.
Jerry's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done your bit, man.
You've done your bit, man.
I mean, you have. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were gutted, you couldn't get involved. You've at least given them a shout out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so if you want to get in touch with them, I'll just do those addresses again. It's sickkidssavepoint.org. That's for the overall event. And if you want to donate, it's justgiving.com/sickkidssavepoint3. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that via Twitter @theAIbots, or you can email
Email at theAIbots.com.
And if you want to find Ali, you are at...
It's Allstar. Yeah. It is Allstar, but without the is and no apostrophe. It's Allstar. There he is.
And that name again.
Yeah, he's done his bit.
That's going to be your tagline, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've done my bit.
You can send...
Hashtag I've done my bit.
We'll do that after the event. We'll try and get that trending in and send out the links for this charity.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, you can send us questions for the next show, and you can send Ali questions as well, just to send him questions.
Yeah, do it.
I'm sure he'd be pleased to answer them, and if not,
just random questions, nothing to do with anything. Just do you like pickled onion sandwiches?
Shall I have cornflakes or Weetabix? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, just send us some questions. Let us know what you're thinking. And we got some kind of. Should we teaser our big news, or
no? Do it.
Should we leave that until next week?
No, let's do it.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna, as of next Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that'll be this coming Sunday. You can head to theaibots.com and find our random musings on stuff.
Exactly.
We've got some writers to sort of get some content together for you. I'm going to be writing some stuff on there. Hopefully, Chazzy will put some bits and bobs.
Yeah,
and,
you'll see just a big like sort of handprint. That'll be my my contribution to the site. Because my writing is terrible.
Except sort of like really classily designed.
Yeah,
you do all that kind
of
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll draw a little face on each finger or something.
In MS Paint.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you use in your office, isn't it?
Yeah. The MS Paint. Yeah. Maybe notes every now and then.
And some crayons.
Yeah, a few crayons. Yeah, just all designy, top level designy stuff. But we've launched our own website. Come and get involved. Say hello. There's comment systems. We're going to put up features and stuff, and just be a bit more professional about the whole thing now. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, damn right. And thanks so much, Ali, for coming on.
Yeah, man, it's been brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Finding out I was coming on 5 minutes before you started recording. It's brilliant.
We did have a sack, and we did cosh you over the head and drag you in here without knowing. So thanks for coming on, man. At late notice, it's been brilliant.
I even had to cancel eating a cornetto.
Mate, we dragged you away from the important things, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man.
Right,
should we go and enjoy that cornetto though?
Right, yeah, let's get out of here and go for a cornetto. Right? You ready?
Good stuff.
Right, see you later.
Bye bye.
Everyone. Bye.